guys here at DRL ACC Racing. Hello and welcome to all of you out there. My name is Dan Delatorre and I am so excited to be back this week after some technical difficulties last week in Hungary. We are back stronger than ever, ready to go for an exciting race here in Zolder tonight. But before we get started with that, let's take a quick second to thank all of our Patreon Gold subscribers. Without all of your support, we could not do what we do here, so thank you so much. We are grateful to each and every one of you. Now, we've done a race in Monza. We had a mystery track. We went to Misano. We went to Valencia. We did 24-hour Nürburgring. We hit Hungary, and now we are in Zolder. Only 2 weeks left in this season. Unbelievable. This week, next week, and then before we know it, season 10 will be here. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because we still have an exciting season in front of us, a season that has a lot of possibilities still to happen. Let's take a quick look at the standings here. After last week's race, Professor Chronotis still holds first place in the pro class with 72 points. Gav Cook has leaped up into second place with 62, and Daniel Hirsch is there with 37. Behind him, brother Kyle Hirsch, 31. The Hirsch brothers have lost a few points recently, being unavailable to race as they were out of town. Let's see how they can come back this week with both of them being here. In the Pro-Am class, we have the silent assassin, Alan Leung, who surged his way to the top. He did finish 4th place last week, but it's okay because that was his drop round. He's still holding strong. Jim Kelly in 2nd place with 54 points, and Marion Satsar with 51. Jim Kelly is unable to make the race tonight, so it's going to open the door for Marion Satsar to leap up to 2nd and maybe make a move on Alan Leung. As of right now, Alan Leung has not joined the server, so we will have to keep an eye on if he joins. But as always with Alan Leung, he is always there right before qualifying, ready to attack. As we take a look at our constructors standings for Season 9, Braun GP has successfully leaped Hirsch Racing with 365 points. They've built a commanding lead after a big goose egg 0 put up by Hirsch Racing last week, but Hirsch Racing is still holding on in 2nd place with 326 points. They have 2 races, plenty of time to come back. It will be an exciting battle in the constructors titles between Braun and Hirsch Racing. But Gazophilia, Jim Kelly and Christopher Black say, don't forget about us. Only 3 points behind Hirsch Racing. Jim Kelly isn't here this week, so the pressure's on Christopher Black to have to hold down the points for Gazophilia. An exciting season still here ahead of us. We have about 6 minutes left in the practice session. Let's hop over and ride along with Gav Cook from Braun GP. Gav Cook needs to start putting up some more points on Professor Chronotis, and he needs Professor Chronotis to have a couple bad races if he wants to make up that point differential. It will not be easy for him, but it is possible. Anything is possible for the great Gav Cook of Braun GP. As we take a look at our current place standings in the practice session, Kyle Hirsch has returned with a bang, a 128.6, throwing down the gauntlet, saying here's the time to beat. Gav Cook is right behind him, only 1/10 of a second behind him with a 128.7. Behind him, we have Professor Chronotis with a 129.2. Senior Tarugo right behind Chronotis with a 129.4, and Daniel Hirsch right in the mix with a 129.5. Then we go to Christopher Black with a 130.1, leading the Pro-Am class currently. Ionis Kiadis is right there with the 130.3. John Malott with the 130.8. Gannon Faust with a 131.7, and Marion Satsara, who is still freshly joined the server, has not put up a valid time yet, so we will have to see what he can do. Lots of opportunities tonight. Thank you all for joining. Again, apologies for the technical issues last week, but we are back. We are stronger than ever, and we are excited for another race, another night of DRL ACC racing. We got car 227, which is Gannon Faust, off the track right now. He is going around, not the place you want to be. You cannot park there, Gannon, but that's all right. No one's really around him right now as he recovers. Zolder is a very fun track to drive. There's a few parts where it can get a little technical. The chicane's right up here. This is the spot where we're going to see drivers lose it. You come out a little too wide right here where we see Gannon. You get up on that dirt. You can completely unsettle the car coming into this turn here. The chicanes are really going to throw off the drivers. Let's hop on with Daniel Hirsch, driver 48, as we're going to kind of see him come through these first chicane. Well, not the first chicane. Well, the first chicane they'll hit on the track. It's about mid-track for you. That's the first spot that can kind of throw drivers off, but it's really the second one. You come around this turn. It's an interesting braking zone. You're braking hard. You need to take it kind of slower. You need to utilize all the curbs to really open that up, as we saw Daniel Hirsch expertly do, but we even see him get a little twitchy coming out. That chicane there is where we're going to see drivers get thrown off. Daniel, again, running wide there, going up on the grass. That is something you don't want to do, especially in your qualifying sessions. You're going to lose so much time. You're going to invalidate your lap, and we will see how this plays out. I think Zolder lends itself to such an exciting track for qualifying. Small little opportunities where drivers can lose it. Coming right up here, another chicane. This one is such a long chicane. You really got to brake slow into that first turn and accelerate out. It's all about the exit speed as you drive down this main straight, but those last couple turns can throw you off as well. Not a lot of turns, but a lot of tricky turns. Finding your braking point, as always, is crucial. Maximizing exit speed, as is pretty much standard with all racing. But I think this is going to be such an exciting track to see the drivers racing on. Lots of open space. You don't want to use this open space alongside the track, but it is there. Prevent some of the collisions that we've seen as Daniel Hirsch was looking to be drifted into the wall. Space everywhere, as I was just saying, but Daniel Hirsch uses none of it and just decides to go into the wall. That's okay. We got only 2 minutes left in the practice session. Let's ride along with brother Kyle Hirsch right now, Team Hirsch Racing, as he works his way around these turns. Beautiful day out. 21 degrees Celsius out in the for the weather. Track at 28 Celsius. A little bit warm out there for the drivers, but that's all right. It'll be interesting to see what drivers end up rolling in here in this final minute and a half. Alan Leung is one who can come late sometimes. A few drivers are unavailable this week, which is unfortunate, but 10, 11 drivers will definitely mix things up in the standings. But thank you all for that are here. Let me know, do you have any predictions in chat? Anyone you're rooting for? And as we talk about him, his ears must have been ringing because Alan Leung, the silent assassin, has joined the server with 1 minute left, ready here to strike and attack and continue to build on his championship lead. Ooh, Kyle runs really wide there. Let's get away from that. His family could be watching. Prayers out to Kyle there. Ioannis Kiadis, one of our rookie drivers this season, has really found his footing as the season has gone, building on that consistency and continuing to improve on what started as a great foundation from a great driver that we're excited to have here at DRL. Siona's come around this turn as he approaches this chicane. Doesn't take enough of that inside. He's going to invalidate. And that is going to end our session. Let's get this set up because you know what that means. It's qualifying time here at DRL. Always an exciting time. Remember, the Pro-Am drivers get the first 10 minutes. The Pro drivers get the final 10 minutes. That is how we do the split. It looks like Marion Sathsara is going to be leading us out. Nope, I lied. Christopher Black is leading us out. So let's hop around with Christopher Black while he does his outlap. And let me get the correct overlay on. There we go, because we are qualifying. Always exciting here qualifying at DRL. This, I think, compared to any other of our 9 seasons here has been the most exciting when it's come to qualifying. It's everything you would expect and hope from a qualifying session. The drivers continue to improve lap after lap after lap, and oftentimes it comes down to splits of thousandths of a second. Sometimes it's the last driver to cross the line that just got that slight track advantage from the track being broken in a little bit. I expect nothing different, especially when we look at those practice times. Everyone was separated by tenths of seconds. This is going to be such an exciting qualifying session here. I cannot wait to see how it plays out. Let me know if you have predictions in chat. I would love to hear who you think is going to take pole position here for the Pro-Am. Christopher Black did hold that position in the practice session, so we will see if he can continue that streak out into the race. Alan Leung did not put up any practice laps, so we will see how he can come out and throw a gauntlet down in qualifying. All right, here we go. Christopher Black is going to start the line, and his lap is officially underway as he's going to make his way into turn 1 here, seeing what he can do on this first qualifying lap. It's so important for these drivers just to get a banker lap up there, put a time on the board, take a little bit of that pressure off yourself, knowing it's on there. Let's see if the drivers tend to push it on their first lap, maybe invalidate a couple, or if they play it a little safe and just keep building on their time lap after lap after lap. So far, great start to this lap for Christopher Black. See Marion Satsara utilizing that whole track behind him in the distance. Coming into our first chicane here, a little bit of a rough curb taking there for Christopher Black. That doesn't really make sense what I said, but it doesn't need to make sense here at the Degenerate Race League. Coming into our second chicane, he's going to do a good job of using this whole chicane, stabilizing that car as he comes through, trying to maximize that exit speed, not getting up on the grass at all. That's great, utilizing all the track coming out here. There we go. So far, it looks to be a pretty good lap. I'm not sure how much time Chris is going to have lost in that first chicane, kind of taking a little too much curve there, but we will find out shortly. Working his way down, he really has this just final chicane here, this elongated chicane that can be so tricky for drivers. So we'll see what can he do as he's approaching it here. Coming through. Looks good. Coming out of the corner. Flying down the main straight here. We'll see. He's going to put up the first time of a 130.6. Not too bad all in all compared to where he was. Marion Satsara is going to be the next across the line with a 131.6. A lot of improvement still to be had there for Marion Satsara, but I think all in all, Christopher Black is going to feel great about a 1 second lead, although Ioannis Kiadis came through with a 131.0. That's great, and Alan Leung's first lap around the track for the day is a 132.3. So as we look, we still have 2 drivers, Gannon Faust and John Malott, who need to cross the line. Let's hop on here with Gannon Faust as he works his way around the final couple turns of this track. Oh, again, it's going to take too much. Accelerated a little too soon. Unfortunate for him. Let's hop on with John Malott as he's going to finish this lap here and see what kind of time John Malott can put up as he's going to cross the finish line. And he's going to get a 131.9. What a lap for Christopher Black, who's got to feel great about that. Almost half a second lead over the next driver through 1 lap. Right now on his Delta, he is not up on it at all. He is down a second. Ioannis Kiadis, he is up big right now, though. He is almost done with his lap here. He lost a lot of time through that turn there. Unfortunate for him. That is a bit of a tricky turn, this hairpin there. You really got to be able to accelerate out of it, but he still is within striking range, depending on how he can attack this chicane. Looks to get a little twitchy out of it. I don't think he's going to have enough. Marion Satsara, he also improved on his lap. Not enough to get past Ioannis Kiadis. Ioannis is now only 2 tenths behind. Let's hop on with Alan Leung. Alan Leung right now is the second up on his lap. He does great out of this chicane. He's going to look to build this. He's not going to take pole position, but he is going to catapult himself up, probably behind Ioannis Kiadis, and he does that exactly. Gets ahead of John Malott and Marion Satsara. Third place for Alan Leung, who improved by over a second on his second lap out here on the track. Christopher Black, once again, is not improving on his lap. Marion Satsara is up big right now on his lap. He is up by almost a second as he comes into this first chicane. So he found something through that first sector of the track that he did not have his first couple races. Let's see if Marion can continue to build on that. A second up on his lap. An incredible first sector for Marion Southstar here. But this is where the boys become men around these chicanes. Marion Southstar, so far, he's able to hold this time for the most part. He's lost a couple tenths, but he's okay. He's still up by nearly a second. He's got to power through. He's got the hairpin and one more chicane. Let's see how he does coming into this hairpin. This is where he lost a lot of time on his last lap. He's able to continue to hold it. This is a big lap for Marion Southstar. This will be enough to catapult him in pole position if he does not lose it around this final chicane. He's going to come through. What will he do? He will come through it nice and slow, making up time, improving. He's holding his time. This is a great lap for Marion Southstar. This is a pole-setting lap for Marion Southstar. What a lap for Marion Southstar. A 1:30.072. He's going to lead Christopher Black by half a second. An incredible lap for Marion Southstar. What a lap. John Malott, he's up by half a second here. Let's ride along with him. Working his way through this chicane here. He's improving time. This is great for him, utilizing all that track. You love to see the drivers utilizing every single piece of that track. Coming through this hairpin here. John is still up. He's up by 0.8 of a second. He's losing a little bit of time. He's got to find a bit of time here through this final chicane. Ioannis Kiadis is also up big right now too. He's someone to keep an eye out on. All right, John's going to come through. John has gone up to a second. This is a big lap for John Malott. This is going to catapult him most likely into third place overall. He does fourth place, just barely behind Ioannis. All right, let's hop on with Ioannis Kiadis here right now. He's making his way through the hairpin. This is another spot. Ioannis has lost a lot of time. Not this lap. He's going to make up an incredible amount of time. 1.1 seconds up on this lap. This is a huge qualifying lap for Ioannis Kiadis as we're getting down to the final 2 minutes. As always, these Pro-Am drivers are treating us to such an exciting qualifying session here, coming down the last couple laps here. This is big. This is a pole position lap for Ioannis Kiadis here. He's going to cross the line, and that's going to be a pole-setting lap for Ioannis. First Pro-Am driver into the 129s with a 129.597. Incredible. Can anyone make up this? Right now, Marion Southstar 4 tenths behind. Christopher Black over a second. John Malott 1.4. Alan Leung 1.6. Alan Leung he's going to cross the line there. He was up by about half a second there. And Gandon Faust 3.2 seconds behind. What an incredible lap for Ioannis Kiadis here. They're coming down to about 1.5 minutes here for our drivers. Oh, let's see. We may be able to get every driver, depending on how quickly they can get around this track, to get one more. Let's hop on with Christopher Black here as he makes his way around. A little bit too much curve there. Unsettling the cars is not what you want to make up time. That's all right. If he continues to push his way around this track, he should have just enough time to start one more lap. Same with Marion Southstar, who's behind him. Alan Leung as well. Alan Leung's going to be close whether he's able to get another one in. He's going to be very close. With these laps pretty much taking about 1.5 minutes, anyone who's on a lap is most likely going to be able to finish. We're going to see Christopher Black come through. He's going to have enough time for one more lap. This is it. He's not improving on this lap, so this is his final lap. Do or die here if he wants to take back that pole position, take back that first place that he got through practice. He can put up a time better than a 129.5, but let's see if he's able to do it. Can he sustain the pressure? Next across the line was Marion Southstar, and we saw, who else did we see? Ioannis Kiadis, who got across for another one. It's coming down the wire. 15 seconds. Will Alan Leung be able to cross that start-finish line? 10 seconds. He's going to have just enough time. So Alan Leung will be our last driver to cross the start-finish line. Our last driver to complete a full lap for qualifying. Let's see what's going on here. We're riding along with Alan Leung right now. Unless anyone else is starting to improve on their lap, we are going to ride along with Alan Leung, as we're going to see our pro drivers work their way out of the pit lane as they take on their final 10 minutes of qualifying. All right, let's hop on with Marion Southstar. Marion Southstar is about 3 tenths up on his lap currently as he's coming in through these first couple chicanes, seeing what he can do through them. Oh, that's okay. He's going to not really make up time or lose time there. He's going to just kind of sustain where he was at, about 3 tenths up. He's got to keep pushing the pace here. He needs to find about half a second to leap Ioannis Kiadis. Ioannis has not improved on this lap time. Christopher Black, he needs to find a second. He's at only about 4/10. Marion Satsara's got to find a little more time. He's got to push it through this final chicane here and see what is he going to be able to do. He's got to find, he's losing too much time. Unfortunate for Marion Satsara, he's not going to have enough. Christopher Black, what is he going to do as he crosses the line? Not enough to lead Marion Satsara. Marion Satsara is going to hold that second place position. Alan Leung, we're not seeing any improvements from him as well. It looks like we are set in our qualifying positions here. Ioannis Kiadis is going to hold pole position for the Pro-Am class, followed by Marion Satsara, then Christopher Black, Alan Leung, John Malott, and Gannon Faust. What an exciting qualifying session for our Pro-Am drivers. An absolute treat we were shown. Let's see if the pro drivers can keep up and keep as equally as exciting of a qualifying session as Kyle Hirsch is going to get us started with the first qualifying lap. Brother Daniel Hirsch is right behind him, breathing down his neck. We'll see how well that works out for Daniel Hirsch. Will he get a bit of a tow, or will he find himself losing pace behind Kyle here? Let's find out. Great start to this lap for Kyle. We're going to follow along for this full lap with Kyle Hirsch right now as we ride along and watch a pro driver do pro driver things. Ooh, a lot of the curve there. I don't know if that's going to invalidate his lap there. He was able to keep that car stable, which is good though. It's not necessarily a bad thing to throw your car over that curb as long as you're able to do so in a way which you maintain your speed and control of the car, which with bigger curves isn't always easy to do. So we'll see how this plays out for Kyle Hirsch when he crosses that finish line here in just a second. He is coming up here on this hairpin turn. This is where we saw a lot of the Pro-Am drivers really lose time. Slightly miss that braking zone. Don't accelerate quick enough out. You're going to lose a ton of time. Kyle Hirsch looking great as he works his way through this final chicane here. Utilize all that track as he's going to come flying down the start-finish line, and he is going to put up a invalid lap. Unfortunately for him, Gavin Cook is going to be the first one. Daniel Hirsch, actually, he put up a 130.5. Gavin Cook coming through with a 129.067. Let's hop on with Tarugo as he's going to pass the start-finish line. What kind of lap time is Tarugo going to put up? Tarugo is going to also invalidate. A lot of invalidations for our pro drivers right off the bat. We saw it with Kyle Hirsch. I'm guessing it was over that chicane. Took a little too much curb and invalidated there. Unfortunate for him as you're trying to utilize all that track. Let's see here. Daniel Hirsch is up by about half a second, so let's ride along with him. Great job working his way through the chicane there. Looks to keep it valid that time through. Coming through our little hairpin here. Great job for Daniel, utilizing all the track, not losing any speed through that. He's actually going to improve by a 10th coming through that sector. Just his final chicane here. We did see Daniel lose it out of this chicane in a practice session. Taking a little too much curb. It looks like he's going to hold it okay here. Straighten that car. This is going to be a great lap. And let's see as he crosses the line. That is going to be a 129.6 thrown off by his brother Kyle Hirsch, who put up a 128.9 to take pole position, but Gav Cook immediately comes back and takes that position back. Gav Cook wants it. He smells the victory and he wants to take the victory. An incredible lap by Gav Cook there to immediately pass Kyle Hirsch. As we take a look at some of our other pro drivers here, Daniel Hirsch was a 129.6 after 2 laps. Ioannis Kiadis is still holding that position over it to show how skilled these Pro-Am drivers are on this track. Marion Satsara is ahead of Tarugo right now. Christopher Black is ahead of Professor Chronotis. We also see Sam Zuiza and Juan Lopez able to make this before qualifying ends. How exciting is that? We got a few more drivers in the mix here. You love to see it. Sam Zuiza, Juan Lopez, always putting out a show here for our ACC fans. We got Gav Cook coming up and passing Daniel Hirsch out there on track. He's coming around. No one is improving currently on their lap times. Everyone, it looks like, is cooling down their tires and preparing for another lap or two. Man, Gav Cook coming past Kyle Hirsch, beating him by nearly 0.6 of a second. Absolutely incredible lap there. And you see these drivers getting ready, preparing for another one, and they're off. With 4 minutes to go, these drivers are going to have about 2 more laps that they're able to do. This one and 1 more. So it's time for them to start improving on the laps. It'll be interesting for Sam Zuiza and Juan Lopez. Sam's out on track. Juan is not gone on track yet. Will he go out there and even put up a qualifying lap, or is he just going to start from the pits? This is going to be interesting. Gav using the whole track there, maximizing that space. Let's ride along quickly with Kyle Hirsch here. He's going to finish right before Gav. Kyle Hirsch is up by 0.6, so he's got the pace right now that he needs to get past Gav. See, as we come through these chicanes, using the whole chicane, and sells it a little bit. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. Not too much. He's still holding on, and he's still got enough of a lead. Gav Cook has backed out of his lap for whatever reason. He is not going to be improving on it, and if Kyle Hirsch can hold this up, this is going to be a pole position setting lap. He comes through, lost some time there. The time is falling. The time is falling. He's close. He's right on the fringe. It's all going to come down the chicane. It's all going to come down to his entrance. It's all going to come out to his exit. Can he push the pace? An incredible pace through there. He got a great entrance, not the best exit. Is it going to be enough? He's going to cross the line, and it's pole position for Kyle Hirsch with the 128.2. He's going to lead Gav Cook by 1/10 of a second. Incredible qualifying lap for Kyle Hirsch. Gav Cook's going to have about 1 more chance to get around this track and try to beat it. He's got to find 2/10 if he wants that pole position. What a lap there by Kyle Hirsch to take back pole position. A little ping pong between Gav Cook and Kyle Hirsch. This is Gav Cook's opportunity to do something with it. Just starting out on this lap, he's not seeing any improvement. He's going to have to push his pace. Is this all the Porsche has through this qualifying session? With where he's at in this lap, he will be able to get 1 more with 1:42. These drivers are only taking 1.5 minutes around the track, so as long as he pushes the pace, he will get 1 more chance. So we say he's going to run wide. He's going to validate, so he's got to hurry if he wants 1 more opportunity around this track. Let's hop on with Professor Chronotis. We haven't talked about him too much this season, this particular race. We talked about him a lot this season as our current first place in pro class. Professor Chronotis not having the qualifying session I think he's hoping for in 8th overall, but right now we're seeing some improvement. We're up by about 0.5 second. This will be huge because this will leap him up to about 5th place overall. If he can keep this pace, he's finding even more time and more time. Hidden by the trees, he's going to come out as a hidden leaf ninja. Ooh, using all that track, that's going to build up a lot of time for him. This is going to be a big lap. This may even move him up into 3rd. We'll see. Tarugo's improving on his lap as well. Sam Zuiza and Juan Lopez, neither of them have set a valid lap. We're coming out of this chicane. We're doing okay. Looks like we're going to improve by about 1 second. We may get up to 4th place here. We got to find a little more time through this final chicane if we want to jump Daniel Hirsch in 3rd, although Daniel Hirsch is improving on his time as well. We have 25 seconds in the qualifying session right now. This is going to mean 1 more lap for Professor Chronotis. Huge improvements through the chicane. This is going to be big. He's going to cross the line, and he is going to jump Daniel Hirsch. 3rd place overall. Daniel Hirsch has anything to say about this as he's coming through the chicane here. Let's see who's next. Driver number 58, he's going to come across Juan Lopez with a 132.8. Excuse me. Daniel Hirsch coming through. This is going to be the final lap for all of our drivers here. Daniel Hirsch, he needs to find 1/100th of a second. Right now, he is up by about 1/10. So this is going to be enough if he can continue to sustain this pace. Professor Chronotis and Daniel Hirsch are out. Juan Lopez and Sam Zuiza are out. But Kyle Hirsch and Gav Cook are finished. Gav was not able to find the 2/10 that he needed, so Kyle Hirsch is currently our provisionary pole position, unless Daniel Hirsch has something to say about it. Professor Chronotis is not at all improving. Is this Daniel Hirsch's opportunity? He's got a great pace here, but he's losing a bit of speed coming out of this final turn. Is he going to be able to hold enough pace to get past? He is. He's going to launch up to third place with a 128.8. Great lap for Daniel Hirsch. Professor Chronotis down a second on his lap time. This is not going to be enough. Driver 58, Juan Lopez, he's improving. Oh, he was improving massively, but he just lost it there. Unfortunate for Juan Lopez. None of our drivers are improving. This is going to be the end of our session. Kyle Hirsch in first place for the pro drivers. Ioannis Kiadis in first place for the Pro-Am drivers. What an incredible session that we had here. As always, our drivers put on an absolute show for qualifying. How exciting is that? Congratulations, Kyle Hirsch, Ioannis Kiadis, for incredible qualifying performances. Marion Sassar, Christopher Black, Alan Leung, John Malott, Gannon Faust is our standings for the Pro-Am. Gav Cook, Daniel Hirsch, Professor Chronotis, Senior Tarugo, Juan Lopez, then Sam Zowiza. All right, we have about 4.5 minutes left before we start this race out there. As always, let's do a little grid walk. Bert, Dogs PC, finally out of potato mode. Stream looks good. Thank you, Bert. I know, it's nice to, finally have things working the way they should be working. All right, let's do our grid walk as always and look at the beautiful liveries of our drivers. In pole position overall and pole position for the pro class, we have Kyle Hirsch from Team Hirsch Racing. Alongside him, Gav Cook of Team Braun GP. These guys are in a battle not only for the pro title, but for the Constructors Championship as well. An exciting battle in qualifying between these two. I hope it carries on. Daniel Hirsch right there as well from Team Hirsch Racing. And Professor Chronotis. The four of these had an exciting battle in qualifying. Ioannis Kiadis is our pole sitter for the Pro-Am class. An incredible time for Ioannis Kiadis. Incredible pace that he had, pushing the meter as best he could. Let's see if he can hold this through the race. Ioannis Kiadis has had great one-lap pace this season, but unfortunately has ran into problems throughout the track. Fingers crossed for Ioannis tonight that he's able to complete his incredible qualifying performance. Sanita, hello, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Hope your night is going good. Alongside Ioannis Kiadis, we have Senior Tarugo, who had a great qualifying session as well. He's going to be lined up alongside Marion Satsara. Marion Satsara is in a battle with Jim Kelly here for second place overall, as he also chases down the silent assassin, Alan Leung, for first place in the Pro-Am class. With no Jim Kelly tonight, with a lead on Alan Leung, this is an important night for Marion Sassar to capture as many points as he can. Christopher Black is right alongside Marion Sassar. He's got to help his teammate tonight by capturing those points from Marion Sassar. Christopher Black and Marion Sassar will be a battle to watch tonight. The silent assassin, Alan Leung, is doing Alan Leung things. He comes in right as qualifying starts. He puts up a couple laps. He improves. The race is going to start, and the assassin is going to strike. Alan Leung is always one to watch on the grid. What is John Malott going to be able to do out here tonight? He's going to be alongside Gannon Faust. And just to mix things up, we have two pro drivers, Juan Lopez and then Sam Zowiza, who are joining us from the back of the grid. They joined right at the end of qualifying. We're only able to get a lap in. No practice, no qualifying practice. What will they be able to do out here tonight, and how will they navigate the Pro-Am drivers in front of us? We're going to have an exciting race ahead of us here. I cannot wait to see what Zolder has in store for us. I think it's going to be action-packed, battles up and down the grid, and drivers giving it their all here at DRL. I'm going to give some water really quick, and I will be right back as this race starts. All right, we are back just in time for these drivers to do their full outlap as they always do. Slung Bits, welcome to the channel. Your money's on Christopher Black to win it all. I don't think you're too wrong there. Chris Black did have first place overall in the practice session prior to race start, so I think he is poised to come out and attack. And I know teammate Jim Kelly, he's going to need it. All right, drivers are off the line as we get ready to go. Thanks to our Patreon Gold subscribers, we have a helicopter here that we can ride in and watch the incredible action on track. So thank you to all our Patreon subscribers for your love and support, funding us here for all the fun things we're able to provide. Those of you who are new here, we do a full outlap here at DRL. Give the drivers the opportunity to warm their tires, mentally prepare themselves for the battle that's about to come. Additionally, you are required to take a pit stop throughout this race, sometime after the first 5 minutes, but before the final 5 minutes of the race. You are not required to take tires, but you are required to take fuel. The meta strategy of the season and all the seasons since this has been implemented seems to be the splash and dash. You wait towards the end of the race, just take a couple liters of fuel, enough to get you across that finish line, Jim, and you go from there. Try to minimize the amount of time that you're in the pits. It hasn't seemed like the races are long enough that the time it takes to replace your tires is made up with pace on track. But Jim, excited to have you here in the chat with me, watch the race. Unfortunately, you're not able to be out here tonight. Hopefully we'll see you next week for our final race. But yeah, this would be big if Chris can take first place, maybe Ionis in second, and maybe Malott comes up and take that third place. Be big to not lose too many points going into that final race here. Be very interesting here to the start of this race. You know, we're going to come down and go right into this turn, not a long runway. An interesting choice for Juan Lopez, I'm just noticing. He has decided to start from the pits. I don't think this is a bad choice for him, because what kind of chaos are we going to have coming through this first turn? It's a bit of a tricky turn that doesn't have great brake markers for the drivers to see, and when you just fill that up with a whole bunch of cars driving as fast as they can, trying to gain as many places as they can right off the start, it can be a bit of a recipe for disaster. You can tell we are coming up to the end of this outlap because the drivers are now lined up side by side with each other. What kind of jump can Kyle Hirsch get on Gav Cook? Their times have been so close tonight that whoever's going to get that jump is going to be a huge advantage right off the bat. Both drivers get great starts here, so it'll be really interesting to see. Let's go back a little bit here. As we're getting ready to cross the line, and the lights are green, and the drivers are off. And it looks like from this view that Kyle's going to be able to hold that position. First place overall. Daniel looks to stick his nose in somewhere, but it's not going to work. We're going to have these drivers side by side coming into turn 2. Let's hop into our helicopter cam to try to get the best view we can. John Malott off the track in the background. So unfortunate for him, but it's Kyle Hirsch able to hold that position. Gav Cook in second. Daniel Hirsch third. Professor Kronos in fourth. Gannon Faust, Sam Zuiz are able to make up places from John Malott, who went off or had some type of contact happen right off the bat. So unfortunate for him. A very clean start to this race, though. You love to see it from the skilled drivers that we have here at DRL. But the great start that Kyle Hirsch needed, necessary in order if he wants to hold back Gav Cook this race. Start building that gap already at 6/10. Nothing too close right off the bat. Let's move down the grid a little bit with Professor Kronos. Professor Kronos is chasing down Daniel Hirsch right now. Daniel's about a second behind Gav Cook, but Professor Kronos is only 3/10 behind him as he's looking to strike, find that opportunity to make some type of a move. Is it going to be into the chicane here? This final chicane on the track is so wide, a driver could try to maybe force their way somewhere around. Probably not the best idea, but we've seen crazier things done here at DRL. Coming down this main straight. Will he look to make the move? I don't think he's going to have enough, but let's ride along with Tarugo. He looks right, he looks left, he's going to make the dive on the inside early. Is he going to have enough to take that position? No, he's not. He's going to have to slow it down, but he's going to keep that car side by side with Ionis. Ionis lost a little bit of time in that battle. Senior Tarugo, they're going to be wheel to wheel. They're waving to each other. Ionis is holding that position. What a battle between these two drivers here. Ionis is going to hold that position. Tarugo is going to try to poise himself to put some pressure into the upcoming chicane, but Marion Sassar is breathing down the neck of Senior Tarugo, and right behind him is Christopher Black. Christopher Black is looking to strike here. He's going to come on the outside. Is he going to go wheel to wheel with Marion Sassar? Marion's going to back out. Christopher Black is going to get right behind Tarugo. Oh, did he give him a little bump? It's unclear if he gave him a little bump. Nonetheless, that position is given back. Christopher Black is also going to lose a position to Alan Leung as well. Marion Sassar got ahead of Senior Tarugo, although Christopher Black is going to take that position right back. Or is he? Let's get over with him. No, Alan Leung. Christopher Black is going to have a piece of the board stuck to the bottom of his car as he went across the grass there a little bit too much. What a battle for Christopher Black that he's trying to put on for teammate Jim Kelly. Unfortunate for him. We're going to see contact in the back between Sam Zuiza and Gannon Faust as well. Sam Zuiza is going to get through that okay. Christopher Black is still right here looking to attack. We're going to hop on with Professor Chronotis quickly. Professor Chronotis, 1/10 behind Daniel Hirsch. He's going to throw it in on the inside. He's going to fake it. He's going to come back out, just try to put some pressure, fill those mirrors of Daniel Hirsch, find any opportunity he can to strike. He's going to back out a little bit and not too much there. Gav Cook is doing a great job of holding that gap just to Kyle Hirsch, about half a second right now, waiting for an opportunity to strike, try to put the pressure on Kyle Hirsch to make a mistake. Christopher Black right there. He's thrown in the inside. Alan Leung's gone a little bit wide. This is going to open up for Christopher Black to make some type of move here. He's going to think better of it at this opportunity, but will he try to line something up for the chicane? Alan Leung ran a little wide on the dirt. This is going to open it up for Christopher Black and Sam Zuiza. Alan Leung's going to come back to block Sam Zuiza. He's going to let Christopher Black take that position, but he needs to complete the chicane. And Christopher Black takes too much curb, and he's going to lose traction, and he's going to spin off. Unfortunate for Christopher Black. Alan Leung takes that position back. The Silent Assassin strikes in ways that only the Silent Assassin can, as he's going to go really wide through that chicane, but that's okay. Definitely feeling the pressure from pro driver Sam Zuiza right behind him. We're going to continue to ride along with this right now, as this is our closest battle. We will keep an eye on everyone else on the track as well. John Malott was able to get ahead of Christopher Black as well. Unfortunately, just pushing that pace a little bit too much. You hate to see it. See as we go here. Let's hop on the hood of the car for Sam as we watch him attack Alan Leung. They're coming right through the start-finish here, coming through this first turn here. Gonna pull up. I think this is where you'll really see Sam start to close that gap on Alan is through these turns here. Alan has ran a little bit wide on these turns, which is causing him to lose just a little bit of time. But that 10th here, a 10th there, all starts to add up, especially in racing. Right now, Sam Zuiza only 2/10 behind Alan Leung as we're watching him look to strike. Alan Leung is going to run really wide. Sam's going to throw it in the inside to protect himself from a potentially spinning car. Alan Leung was able to hold control of his car, but Sam Zuiza has got through. He's going to start chasing down Tarugo. Marion Sassar is still chasing down Ionis Kiadis. He's about half a second behind him right now. What a show has been put on by these Pro-Am drivers tonight. Battles here, battles there. Even John Malott right now, he's someone to keep an eye on as he is chasing down Gannon Faust, only about half a second behind him as well. Other than that, our top 6 drivers have really stayed where they are. Kyle Hirsch is still leading this race. 1.3 seconds behind. Well, here's Kyle Hirsch leading this race. 1.3 seconds behind him is Gav Cook. 2.6 seconds behind him is Daniel Hirsch. Professor Chronotis is 1.5 seconds behind Daniel Hirsch. Then 5.5 seconds is Ionis Kiadis. Marion Sassar is right behind him. Tarugo only a second behind him. 4 seconds behind Tarugo is Sam Zuiza closing that gap. Alan Leung 2 seconds behind him. 7 seconds behind Alan Leung is Gannon Faust. Only 4/10 behind him is John Malott. We're actually going to hop on with him right now. As we see, oh, he's going to run right into the back. Unfortunate to see for John Malott. Gannon Faust seems to got through that okay. Unfortunate for John Malott. Let's see if we can kind of go back in time and see what happened. I think John just broke a little bit. Oh, am I on John Malott? Yeah. I don't think we're going to... Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see right here. Bert, a 3-stream streak. Thank you for all your love and support, Bert. You are kind of a big deal. You're not kind of a big deal. You are the deal. So, unfortunate for John Malott, just running right into the back of Gannon Faust. Christopher Black, he's going to go drifting through the chicane. Not the ideal way to take that, but let's hop on with Marian Satsara. Marian Satsara is chasing down Ioannis Kiadis. Where is Ioannis Kiadis? Ioannis Kiadis has disappeared. Oh, there he is. Interesting strategy. A cloaking device. Ioannis is still holding that lead. Half a second behind him. Marian Satsara is still on the attack, but Tarugo is right there as well. He's starting to put the pressure on Marian Satsara. It's always difficult to attack when you have to defend as well. It just distracts you that little bit that you can't put the pressure maybe that you want. And why I said that, Christopher Black did pass Gannon Faust. Let's go back and watch that overtake. Gannon Faust is going to go wide into that chicane. Very, very good reaction by Christopher Black to avoid any potential incident. He's going to get around there. Juan Lopez, let's hop over with him. We're going to jump forward in time here. Juan Lopez is chasing down John Malott. John's going to run wide into this third turn here. This is going to open the door for Juan Lopez. Juan's going to get by, and he's going to, yep, he's going to make that move stick. I don't know how hard John's going to push it. We're going to watch and we'll find out. Black with the comeback, absolutely. Hey, we all know this is racing. Anything can happen at any point in time. Juan Lopez taking a lot of that curve. He's able to hold that position. Let's hop back over with Marian Satsara, our little three-way. And as you guys all know, there's nothing more that we love here at DRL than a three-way. Nice, tight battle. Ioannis Kiadis just handling this pressure so well. Marian Satsara applying the pressure great. None of these drivers get overly aggressive. But Marian Satsara now having to defend with Tarugo is not going to make his life any easier. Although Tarugo, he did take a little bit too much curb there. Kind of give him a little bit of a breathing room for Marian Satsara. Ooh, Marian is right there. Little bump draft. 2/10, looking for any opportunity he can. Marian wants it. He wants that pole position. Let's hop along the hood of his car. Watch this battle. Marian, oh, what a... I thought he was going to run really wide as he came into that. Very well taken by Marian Satsara. Approaching the other chicane here. Just keeping that pressure on. Ioannis just needs to keep doing his race. He's got the pace. He just needs to keep driving it. He can't succumb to the pressure. Marian's going to run a little wide. Is he going to look to make the move here? Is he going to throw it on the inside? He's not going to throw it on the inside. Be interesting to see at some point towards the end of the race if anyone makes a bold move, throwing it in the inside there. Yeah, pressure-filled race here for Ioannis Kiadis. This whole race right now under pressure as this battle is continuing to unfold. Let's hop on quickly here with John Malott. John Malott is looking to attack Juan Lopez. Juan Lopez has caught up to the back of Gannon Faust. This has slowed him down just enough for John Malott to get back into the mix as he's going to look to strike at any opportunity that he can. He looks to line it up. Is Juan going to make the move? Juan's not going to look to make the move here on Gannon Faust. John Malott is not going to look to put any more pressure on as well. Christopher Black right now is working down. He's about 10.5 seconds as it currently stands. on the timetables as he looks to try to continue this recovery drive. This would be big for him if he could get ahead of Alan Leung. Oh! Ioannis Kiadis! Unfortunate, something just happened. Let's go back and take a look. Ioannis was coming down. Comes up. Oh, he spins on the curb. So unfortunate for Ioannis Kiadis. You absolutely hate to see it. That's going to let Satsara through for first. That's going to let Tarugo through. And Sam Zawiza's going to get through as well. Alan Leung, the silent assassin, is right there. He's looking to attack. Now our closest battle, but so unfortunate for Ioannis, who has such a good race. You absolutely hate to see it. Alan Leung looking to attack now, and even though Ioannis spins, he's not out of the pressure. He's still feeling the pressure from Alan Leung now. So unfortunate for him. Now Tarugo also, he is applying the pressure of Marian Satsara, although right when I went over there, he is going to lose a bit of time. Juan Lopez still stuck behind Gandon Faust. An incredible drive from Gandon Faust to hold these very quick drivers back lap over lap. Although Gandon is going to run wide there, that's going to open it up for Juan. That's going to open up for John. As John's going to look to try to continue attack Juan Lopez somewhere else. Juan will probably start to push that pace. Christopher Black is down to about 9 seconds, but right now, after the craziness of it, we are in a bit of a standstill. All the drivers about 1.5 seconds or more ahead of each other. So with this kind of separation here, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is run our ad, so that way our drivers are not missing any exciting, or our non-subscribers are not missing anything too exciting. All right, well, right as I went to add there, for those of you who are subscribers, something happened here, and Tarugo absolutely caught up to Marian Satsara and was able to leap him. Let's see if we can go back about 15 seconds and see what happened. It looks like Marian just kind of let him through. I think he just didn't want to battle with Tarugo, didn't want to risk making a mistake. Looks like he made the decision that it was best for him just to let Tarugo through and focus on his race, which actually is a pretty smart idea here, considering he's got about 4.5 seconds to Sam Zawiza behind him. So why force that? You know, you got about 8 seconds to Ioannis, about 9 seconds to Alan Leung. So don't worry about that too much. All right, welcome back from the ad, and sorry to do that to you while you were on ad break. Marian Satsara decided to let Tarugo through. He just kind of ran a little bit wide, let him through. Looks like Marian made the decision. He didn't want to battle with the pro driver, risk any mistakes happening, and focus on his Pro-Am race, which I think is great for him. He's got Sam Zawiza behind him. We're going to see Ioannis Kiadis. Something just happened to him as well. Let's move back. Oh, he went off track again at the chicane. So unfortunate for Ioannis. What started as a great race is slowly falling apart. Your heart breaks for Ioannis right now, who has had such a great first half of this race. But that is going to open up Alan Leung in second place. The silent assassin is doing what the silent assassin does, and silently assassinating driver after driver to continue to make up the places. Christopher Black, don't forget about him. He's now only 7 seconds behind Alan Leung. And that is third place overall for Christopher Black. Still big points for Gazophilia. Marian Satsara is just still right on the back of Tarugo. I mean, he made the decision to let him through, and you got to wonder if he's at all regretting it at this point in time, considering he is just right on pace with Tarugo. And yes, he doesn't have the pressure of Tarugo filling up his mirrors, but now he's got the pressure of not running into the back of Tarugo as well. Tarugo, I don't think, has built the gap he expects him to build, so we will see how this plays out for Marian Satsara. Juan Lopez is caught up to Ioannis Kiadis. Ooh, Juan is really closing that gap here into the braking zone, although Juan took a little bit too much curb. I think he broke a bit later than he may have hoped. Gannon Faust is our first driver who successfully completed his pit stop, and it might be an interesting decision here for Marian Satsara if he doesn't start to let a gap build here. Does it make sense for him just to make his pit stop, maybe look to undercut some of his competitors, and quite possibly free himself up into some clean air? Just looking at the track map, he would probably come out in some pretty clean air and just be able to keep continuing to push his pace. I guess that'll be a decision if he feels like he is losing too much pace here. Trailing Tarugo. Let's ride along again with Juan Lopez here. Juan's only a second down on Ioannis Kiadis as he's looking to once again carve him up. We saw it with Gannon Faust. Juan is just being very careful here and waiting for an opportunity to strike. Let the drivers in front of him make a mistake. But man, what an exciting first 20 minutes to this race. Incredible battles between Ioannis Kiadis, Marian Satsara, Tarugo. We saw battles between Christopher Black, Alan Leung, Juan Lopez with John Milan and Gannon Faust. Absolutely incredible. We saw Professor Chronotis put the pressure on Daniel Hirsch, but Daniel Hirsch absorbed that pressure. He's got a 13-second lead right now over Professor Chronotis, which is great. Kyle Hirsch is continuing to push that pace, looking for a second victory here at DRL with a 3.5-second lead to Gav Cook. It looks like if he doesn't make any mistakes, he will be able to sustain that lead. But right now, Juan Lopez and Ioannis Kiadis is our closest battle, which is why we are continuing to ride along and watch this. But as always, if there is a driver you want featured on the stream, just drop a name in the chat and we will get them up on the stream and follow along with them for you. Alright, is Juan going to make his move here? Maybe throw it in on the inside? No, he's just going to continue to fill up those mirrors. Juan is looking to take no chances here. Just wait for his best opportunity to strike. Hop on with the hood. A lot of the Pro-Am drivers have been running a little bit wider here and they're losing a bit of time. This is these next couple turns is when Juan seems to strike on some of the other drivers. Great exit speed if you can line that up. Ioannis, great job coming out of that turn. He's not going to lose any time. We're going to run down to the chicane here. Is this going to open it up for him? Juan's going to run into the back of him. He can't break enough. Devastating for Juan Lopez. Devastating. Well, not too devastating for Ioannis because he held this on the track as he works his way around. John Milan's going to get past Juan Lopez. So great for John Milan as he continues to improve on his race overall. Unfortunate for Juan Lopez, though. Just didn't break enough, ran into the back of Ioannis. And that is the risk you take. The risk we talk about here with Marian Satsara. If you have better pace than the driver in front of you, not to say that he does have better pace than Tarugo, but when you do, you just got to be really careful sitting behind them because you break a couple meters, 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters later than they do. You're going to see you just can't slow your car down enough. This is our closest battle here on the track, so we're going to continue to ride along with this and see, does Marian Satsara just continue to ride behind in Tarugo's slipstream, or does he look to attack at any point? It is feeling a bit risky for Marian to be this close to Tarugo. If he made the choice just to let him through, you're really pushing that pressure. We're going to see driver 227, Gannon Faust, is off the track currently with the yellow flags. He's going to recover and get back on. But yeah, Marian getting really close behind Tarugo, and I think we saw it in the 24-hour Nürburgring layout. The driver in front of you makes a mistake. If you don't have enough space between them, you're going to start to feel that pressure as well. But sitting in the wake of Tarugo, Marian Satsara has let Sam Zuiza close the gap down. He is just a second behind him, and you see that white car coming in behind. So very quickly, Marian Satsara is going to have to make another decision, whether to hop into the pits, whether to let Sam through, or look to attack Tarugo. Tarugo is going to come to the pits. That's going to open it up for Marian Satsara. Tarugo is just going to decide to take that pit stop, get out of the mix, and not risk any potential contact. Marian Sassar is just going to let Sam Zawiza go through. He doesn't want to battle with the pro drivers. He wants to focus on his race, and he wants to focus on a Pro-Am victory here tonight. Now he has Alan Leung is directly behind him, about 9 seconds behind him. So we'll see if Alan Leung can start to close that gap. Christopher Black, who was about 10 seconds behind Alan Leung at one point in time, is only 5 seconds behind him now. Great improvement for Christopher Black, who is our other podium place for the Pro-Am class. Be very interesting to see where Tarugo comes out and how this ends up playing for Tarugo. Does an undercut strategy work here? It looks like Tarugo will start to come out really with a good amount of space. Gannon Faust will be in front of him, but Gannon Faust will be probably far enough in front of him that it'll take him a lap to 2 laps to catch him, so he'll be able to really just start to push that pace. And what does Marian do here? And what does Sam Zawiza do here? You know, Sam had caught up to Tarugo as well. Does he look to pit right now and try to counter that undercut, or does he just look to continue to push the pace? If I was Sam, I'd be pushing the pace right now just because there's no one in front of me. He's got clear air. He's got 7 seconds to Professor Chronotis, so why mix it up? And this is exactly what Sam is going to do. We still have 17 minutes left of the pit window, so that's going to get the drivers quite a few laps, probably about 7 laps before they have to start to pit. Maybe less than that, but 5 laps, we'll see. All right, let's hop on with race leader Kyle Hirsch right now as he works his way around the track. Right now, the lead to Gav Cook is about 3.5 seconds, which is great for Kyle Hirsch. Give out a little bit of wiggle room, just keep pushing the pace, doing his drive. Hasn't run into the back of any blue flagged drivers yet that I can see. The driver in front of him is Tarugo. That'll be the first driver that he's probably going to have to look to overtake. Should he catch Tarugo, we will see about that. But just a great night for Kyle Hirsch. Started in pole position, and he just got that lead and ran with it. Guy was able to put a little bit of pressure on to start the race, but not an overwhelming amount. So it's been pretty clear sailing for Kyle Hirsch. It's also been pretty clear sailing for Gav Cook here in second place. Not ideal to be in second place. First loser, as they say, but Gav, you're always the first winner in my heart. But Gav Cook hasn't really been under too much pressure from Daniel Hirsch at all throughout this race. Daniel and Professor Chronotis had a little bit of time where they were battling it out, and that gave Gav the chance to jump ahead and make up a few places. We watch him go a little bit wide there. We see Daniel Hirsch just continuing his drive, seeing how he can close that gap. Currently 8 seconds behind Gav Cook, just kind of doing his thing out here. A nice little Sunday drive for Daniel Hirsch. 20 seconds behind him is Professor Chronotis. Professor Chronotis said in our interview after Nürburgring that these last couple races were going to be more of a challenge for him, tracks he wasn't as familiar with, and we're seeing that come true here. Big for him that Kyle Hirsch is currently in first place because Gav Cook is really the one who's threatening him most point-wise for that Drivers' Championship in the Pro class. Sam Zawiza has cut this down to 4 seconds now, chasing down Professor Chronotis to try to get that place back, but Marian Satsara is still sitting there. Marian's letting these pro drivers through, but he is not letting them get away from him. He is just sitting in their draft and riding along with them. An incredible race for Marian Satsara today. He has done an amazing job of keeping his car on the track and absorbing any pressure that was put on him by the pro drivers, attacking well and creating safe opportunities to strike. 10 seconds behind him is Alan Leung. Alan Leung is not finding pace on Marian Satsara right now. He is just slowly losing a 10th here and a 10th there. Not looking good for Alan Leung to strike Marian Satsara down, but we will see. The Silent Assassin works in mysterious ways, and we will see how he will look to assassinate Marian Satsara in first place for the Pro-Am class. Christopher Black started in pole position, looked to dominate right off the bat. An unfortunate series of circumstances dropped him down to the bottom of the grid, but he is making it up. He can see Alan Leung coming through. He's gone from 10 seconds to 7 seconds to 5 seconds to 4 seconds, continuing to close that gap on Alan Leung. Pit stops will absolutely come into play for these drivers. Can Christopher Black get an excellent pit stop? Maybe a little bit of trouble for Alan Young. A second here or a second there is all the difference it's going to make. Ioannis Kiadis, a devastating race for him today. An incredible qualifying session where he threw down an enormously great time. He comes out, handles the pressure from Marian Sassara. Tarugo, battle. Speaking of battle, let's watch and see what happened here because Marian Sassara just got ahead. Oh, we saw Sam Zuiza spin out there. That opened it up. We're also going to hop on with Juan Lopez here. Juan Lopez, Christopher Black, Alan Young, they all got ahead of Sam Zuiza. We're going to see John Malott make a move on Juan Lopez there. Juan Lopez right behind him in the background. What a move by John Malott there. Just strike him down. Juan Lopez looking to attack, seeing what he can do. But yeah, so unfortunate. Ioannis Kiadis, he had such a good race to start this first half of the race. Unfortunately, just lost it through a chicane. And that was that. Turk, welcome to the stream, dude. Great to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful night here. We are watching an exciting battle here as Sam's coming into the, it looks like both these drivers are coming into the pit lane. Racing down the pit straight. Sam is going to overtake Christopher Black in the pit lanes. No worries about being late, dude. Just finishing in P1. Nice, dude. Repping DRL well with that P1. Which race were you doing? All right, so it'll be interesting to see how these drivers come out. That's really funny that Christopher let him take him over in the pit lane. Jim, if you're still in stream here, you got to talk to your teammate. The fixed GT3 at Nürburgring GP. I love the Nürburgring GP track. I'm not a fan of the 24-hour layout, but the GP track I love. Juan Lopez, we're going to see him get past John Malott. These two have been battling out for the last 30 minutes. An incredible race here. Let's see. I know John's not going to give up on it yet. Look, where will he be able to strike? Maybe we need team practice for the pit stops. Maybe so. That was really funny. But Juan's got great pace tonight. I'm sure he's going to keep that up. Try to push him where he can. It'll be interesting to see where these drivers come out. Did Sam take too much damage? Christopher was able to get out ahead of him in the pit stops. So that is good. Who is that right behind him? Is that Gavin Cook? I'm not sure who's right behind Christopher Black there. Let's see if we can get a shot of it. Yeah, we got Gannon Faust, and then we got Christopher Black, who are holding up Daniel Hirsch here, getting blue flags. Going to look for an opportunity to let him through. Gannon Faust is just going to let him through there. Great opportunity, too. And Daniel is just going to decide to come into the pits, not look to overtake drivers, get some clean air. He should have some great clean air, especially if he can come in ahead of Professor Chronotis. Let's take a look at some of our total pit stop times. Looking about 42 seconds is our best pit stop, which was by Christopher Black. 8 seconds total time stopped. So, Jim, you know, not too bad of a pit stop there for him. So we will see, you know, how this plays out for Daniel Hirsch. Gav Cook is slowly closing this gap on Kyle Hirsch. So that's good for him. Let's see. It looks like he has Tarugo, who's right in front of him. He's got to find an opportunity to get past Tarugo and start continuing to chase down Kyle Hirsch. This would be a very exciting finish here if Gav can continue to push that pace. Tarugo's going to do a great job of just letting him through. You see Kyle there, and here comes Gav. Gav is on the attack. Pit stops are absolutely going to come into play here. We have about 9 minutes left in our pit window, so these drivers are going to have about 3 or so laps before they need to get in the pit lanes. Looks like about, close to half the drivers have decided to pit. Gav is under 3 seconds right now, so this is big time exciting. Alan Leon and Ioannis Kiadis have come in to take their pit stops as well. Marian Satsara, he also took his pit stop as well. So let's see. Marian Satsara is about 8 seconds after the pit stops ahead of Alan Leung, 9 seconds. Let's see. Tarugo's going to have got through. So that is Alan Leung right behind Tarugo. So Tarugo was able to jump Alan Leung. This is going to be big, especially for Marian Satsara. He's got a little bit of a buffer now with Tarugo between him. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out with them in the next 13 minutes. Tarugo's got to make up about 9 seconds to catch Marian Satsara, but it's felt like Marian has had about equal pace, if not slightly better than Tarugo. Professor Chronotis is in the pit lanes here, so we'll see. It looks like he's pulling in, so that is going to unleash Daniel Hirsch, which makes sense given their pace. Gannon Faust is once again coming into the pit lanes as well. Not sure why he's coming in a second time, but so he is. Juan Lopez has not taken his pit. John Malott is not taking his pit stop yet either. Kyle Hirsch and Gavin Cook have not taken their pit stops either. So we're still watching as Alan Leung is chasing down Tarugo, trying to make up that pace, but he just sits in the draft of Tarugo, and both of them together can look to close on Marian Satsara. As long as Tarugo is keeping good pace, I don't know if Alan Leung wants to mess that up at this point in the race by overly applying pressure on Tarugo. It might be better just to continue working together to start that, close that gap on Marian Satsara. If the two of you can work together to close that gap, then you can look to strike towards the end of the race. But we'll see, because right now Marian Satsara is just having better pace than both of them by nearly, half a second a lap. So Satsara's got great pace this race. He's got to be feeling good. He's got to remember Malott ahead of him has not taken his pit. As soon as John Malott pits, he will take back that first place position. So he needs to stay loose and stay relaxed in the cockpit here. All right, we got 6 minutes left now in our pit window. So I think we're going to see our final couple drivers here come through at any point in time. Yeah, we're going to see race leader Kyle Hirsch right behind Marian Satsara. So Marian's going to have to get out of the way for him. That's not going to be anything new for Marian, though, as he's been strategically letting pro drivers get ahead of him this race so he doesn't risk battling with them. Wait for his opportunity to strike. Juan Lopez is in the pit lanes right now, so we will see where he has come out. A great recovery drive for him. He's going to run wide here. He's just going to open that door for Kyle Hirsch. He's going to move over back onto the racing line. Gav Cook is going to be quickly approaching. Gav Cook is less than 2 seconds now behind, although losing a little bit of time coming through this turn here. But Gav Cook is absolutely closing that gap on Kyle Hirsch. They're giving us something to watch later in this race. Christopher Black, he's able to jump Juan Lopez in the pits. Ioannis Kiadis, they're going to come out side by side. Ioannis is going to look to take that position back. Will he be able to get the traction on the outside? No. He gets a little too squirrely, and that's going to open up for Juan to hold that position. Juan is going to take that position and say, welcome to the race, Ioannis. Coming down to the chicane here. Will Ioannis look to throw it in on the inside? He's still holding that. Nope, he's going to feint it. He's going to pull out of it. Always good to pull out when it is risky, right, boys? All right, Professor Chronotis chasing down John Malott here. Professor Chronotis has pit. John Malott is one of 3 drivers who has not pit yet. So we will see when he pits. 4.5 minutes. He's probably going to look to pit the next lap. Let's also hop over with Gav Cook. Gav Cook did get past Marian Satsara as expected here. So he's going to continue to chase down Kyle Hirsch. He's got this down to a 1.5 seconds. So it is going to be incredible to see how these pit stops come into play. Professor Chronotis did get ahead of John Malott, not too surprising. Both Kyle Hirsch, Gav Cook are going to have to pit here. It's probably going to be this lap unless they really want to push it to the final moment in time. This race may come down to pit stops. Who gets the cleaner pit stop with a 1.5 seconds gap between the two of them? It is still anyone's race here. Kyle, Gav, and then Marion was right behind them as well. Just watching these two incredible pro drivers chase each other down. Marion Satsara leading the Pro-Am drivers once John Malott takes his pit stop. A great race for him, as we have said over and over again. And we see him kind of just keeping up here with our race leaders. Not losing a little bit of time as expected, but not really falling too far out of the mix. But yeah, Braun GP looking to strike here. Is this going to be the lap they pull into the pits? They could go one more lap if they wanted. I don't know if they want to risk it or not. What is Gav going to do? Gav is not going to pull into the pits. Gav is going to push it one more time while Kyle Hirsch pulls in the pits. This is big. This is very big here. Gav Cook is now in first place overall. He's got to get around this track. 2.5 minutes left in the pit window. There's plenty of time for him to get around the track, but he needs to push his pace here, and we're going to see how they play. This is going to be exciting. I'm not sure what would be more exciting, if they both race throughout the pits or if we do it this way. We're going to continue to ride along here with Gav Cook. There's no... Juan Lopez is chasing down Ioannis Kiadis. We will keep an eye on the timetables there, but right now there's nothing else too close. Oh, Alan Leong and Tarugo. Let's quickly go back in time. What has happened here? Tarugo's going to just run up wide, and he's going to lose it, and that's going to open it up for the Silent Assassin. Alan Leong continuing to strike in ways that only Alan Leong can. Absolutely incredible for Alan Leong. Juan Lopez, he's got it down to half a second here, but right now what we want to watch is Gav Cook. Where's Gav Cook going to come out when he gets out of the pits? He's kind of finishing this lap here. As we take a look at Kyle Hirsch, 40 seconds in the pit lane, 5 seconds total stop time, about as fast as you can. The only driver to do it faster is Alan Leong at 39 seconds. So about as perfect as it could be for Kyle Hirsch to keep the pressure here. But right now, he's about 40 seconds behind Gav Cook. So this is going to be very interesting to see where it comes out. They're going to be so close right now. Gav needs to get a perfect pit stop here. We're also watching Tarugo as he's going to chase down Alan Leong. Half a second. Alan Leong is 7 seconds. No, he's more than that to Marion Satsara because John Malott is in the pits right now. They are battling out. Juan Lopez also looking to find any opportunity to pass Ioannis Kiadis. We got battles up and down the grid right now. We also want to keep an eye on Gav Cook to see where is he going to come out. Let's hop over to Kyle Hirsch as he makes his way down this main straight here. And we see Gav there in the distance. It looks like it's going to be enough for Kyle to get through. And Kyle has got through. Unfortunate for Gav. He's going to find himself 3 seconds back. A 42-second pit stop for Gav Cook. There's that 2 seconds. There's that difference. So unfortunate for Gav. Needed the perfect pit stop. Was close, but not perfect. He's going to find himself 3.5 seconds. A lot of time to have to make up here with not a lot of race left. But listen, this is racing. Anything can happen at any point in time. Gannon Faust getting a drive-through penalty. Unfortunate for Gannon Faust. You hate to see it for him. Daniel Hirsch, 20 seconds right now behind Gav Cook. Great consistent race for Daniel Hirsch here, holding down third place. 23 seconds behind him is Professor Chronotis in fourth. Then we have Marion Satsara, who's still continuing to lead our Pro-Am drivers. A great race for him. All in all tonight has really just had absolute incredible pace, pushing the pedal to the metal. Alan Leong, the Silent Assassin, is up in second place. I think all in all, he will take this finish, especially for coming on with zero practice and just doing Alan Leong things. We have Tarugo. Very unfortunate for Tarugo, who's been on a great attack today, had a great race. Unfortunately, just ran a little bit of wide and lost some time. Christopher Black, he finds himself still on a pole position. This is big for Gazophilia. Big for Christopher Black. Anytime you get a pole position, that's great. Christopher Black has had a troubling start to his race, but an excellent recovery drive, and I think all in all, Christopher Black will feel great about where he's finished up. Someone who probably won't feel great about where they finished today is Ioannis Kiadis. Ioannis, an incredible qualifying, incredible start to this race, but unfortunately, he just spun out on one of the chicanes, and it's been a bit of a downhill spiral for him since. Fourth place, all in all, isn't the worst for him, but I do think like he'll leave tonight feeling like this was a race he could have won. Juan Lopez still putting the pressure on Ioannis Kiadis right now, seeing what he can. Well, no, he's actually having the pressure put on him by John Malott. Juan Lopez came in here, another week of no practice, a track not too familiar with. I think Juan will be happy to have had some exciting battles tonight and put on a great show here. John Malott continuing to attack. Unfortunate, not the best start for John Malott. Not sure if he was pushed off track or what happened, but we saw him go wide. We saw a few unfortunate little bumps here or there, but John has battled, and John's going to feel great about that overtake right there. Big overtake for him there. Who is that? That is Gav Cook, who's looking to get past John Malott here, as he's got that gap from 3.5 seconds to 2.5 seconds right now. Sam Zuiza is also closing the gap on Juan Lopez. Sam and Juan both joined this race right at the end of qualifying, got in just in time, no practice, and just coming out here doing what they can. Gannon Faust is on his timeout, his stop and go 30 for Gannon Faust. Let's hop on here with Sam as he is chasing down Juan. Another exciting battle between Sam and Juan. A fun night of racing for these guys, even if it is on the back of the grid. It doesn't matter because these guys show up to put on a show for all of us here. John just absorbing the pressure right now, 3/10. Got a pro train behind him. Gav Cook's got this down to about 1.5 seconds right now, so Gav's got the pace. Such an unfortunate pit stop. His last lap was about 0.6 faster than Kyle's too. I just don't know if there's enough race left for him to keep closing that gap. Keep an eye on the times here. If he gets under a second, we will hop over with Gav. Right now, we're still following alongside here because this is our closest battle. John trying to hold back Juan and Sam. Sam trying to attack John while Juan trying to hold back Sam while attacking John. And Sam just looking for any opportunity he can to force a mistake. Tarugo is also closing the gap on Christopher Black. He's got that down to about 0.5 seconds, so another one to keep an eye on here as we got battles kind of going up and down the grid. Gav Cook is kind of just settling in, unfortunately not looking to make up too much more time. With 20 seconds left in this race, we'll see how many more laps they get, if they even get one more, as he's kind of trying to work his way through traffic here. But it looks like with that, they've got through most of the traffic. Anyone that Kyle catches, if they go one more lap, which I think they probably will, they will not be required to get out of the way. Yeah, but it looks like they're going to go one more lap through with the white flag being waved. Sam is right here. He's looking to attack Juan. He's going to just dive out of it, just try to fill up those mirrors, feint to move, see what he can do. 1.2 seconds for Gav here. He's got one last lap to attack. Christopher Black's able to push the pace, so he's got ahead of Tarugo by over 1 second. Sam, Juan, and John is our closest battle. Gav Cook is 1.1 seconds right now, so this will be exciting to kind of keep an eye on the finish. No! They got the checkered flag! So unfortunate for Gav. If only he had one more lap, maybe he could have closed it, but that's that. We're seeing drivers take the flag. Ioannis Kiadis is taking it. John Malott was able to hold on Juan Lopez and Sam. John is someone who probably did not mind that flag flying there. We're going to see Daniel Hirsch come through here and take the checkered flag. Next to check the checkered flag will be Professor Cronotis, so let's ride along with him. But big congratulations to Kyle Hirsch for another victory here at DRL, his second victory at DRL, and what a return from his worldwide press tour. Professor Cronotis is going to cross the finish line here. He's going to take 4th place overall in Pro. And congratulations to Marion Sassar. He's got one more chicane to get through here. And he is going to take First place in the Pro-Am class. He's going to come through it cleanly, no problems, and he's going to take that checkered flag. Professor Cronotis 4th, Marion Sassar 5th overall, and first place in the Pro-Am class. Next is Alan Leung. He's going to come crossing the finish line here. Second place in the Pro-Am class. He finds himself on the podium. 6th place overall. A great finish for Alan Leung. Next up is Christopher Black. He's got Tarugo right behind him. These guys are going to give us a photo finish. Here they come. Christopher Black is just going to be able to hold him back. There's Tarugo, and that is the end of our race. Kyle Hirsch in first place overall for the Pro. Second place in Pro, Gavin Cook. Third place in Daniel Hirsch. A double podium for Team Hirsch Racing. Welcome back, Hirsch Brothers. Fourth place in the Pro class and overall is Professor Cronotis. Then we're going to go to first place in the Pro-Am class, Marion Satsara. Alongside him on the podium is Alan Leung, and then Christopher Black, followed by Ionis Kiadis, John Malott. Tarugo's mixed in there. The drivers are kind of backing out of this here a little bit. What a race night. Absolutely incredible by all of our drivers. You love to see the racing, the passion. It was such an exciting race tonight. I would love to hear in chat if you had a favorite moment during the race tonight. Anything you saw that really stood out to you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have us go to intermission really quick while I get our highlights set up and I see which drivers are in the green room ready for an interview on stream here.
DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no slowing down. The checkered flag is calling, we're the crown. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead in the DRL. We race with greed. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead in the DRL. We race with greed. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With Steve.
All right, we are back here. Get our interview started. Let me drop the game volume so it's not interfering with us at all. And let's get our first driver from the green room,
Sure.
Kyle Hirsch. Kyle, what a return to DRL, huh?
Oh man, that felt good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, what was your thoughts coming into Zolder? Is it a track that you're familiar with, that you like, or was it a new thing for you this week?
I really like Zolder. I've had good luck here in the past, and it's just it's got a flow to it that I like.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really fun track to drive. Lended itself for quite the exciting qualifying session. You know, a lot of times we talk about the races in the interview, but let's quickly talk about that qualifying session, that battle between Gav through that qualifying session.
Oh man, that was my first lap. I invalidated, which had me a little nervous, and then because usually I like to have a banker and then work from there. But this time around, my banker was invalidated, so I had to push it hard the next couple, and I got lucky that it was enough to just edge out Gav just by a little bit.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, it was a slugfest out there. It was like you put up the time and, Gav was like one or two cars behind you, and then he would just immediately top that time. And, yeah, at some point you were able just to put up a little too much for him. But, yeah, it was a really exciting qualifying session. Maybe not quite as exciting of a race for you, which isn't the worst thing in the world when you're in first place, but it kind of felt like you got off the line and it was pretty much smooth sailing until that last maybe 15 minutes when Gav all of a sudden found some pace.
Oh man, it was a tale of two halves. The first half, I was pulling away from Gav, and about halfway through, I made a mistake and brought him back within like I think 2 seconds. And then from then on, it was just a battle of both of us having tires that were dying, and he was finding pace, and I was just treading water. He was incredibly fast tonight.
Yeah, it was, and usually I feel like Gav like loses the pace as the race goes in that Porsche. But yeah, he just, I mean, that thing just absolutely came to life. And I don't know how much you're paying attention to some of these things during the race, but you had like a near perfect pit stop. The fastest pit stop we saw anyone do was 39 seconds. Most people were 42, 43 seconds, and you came in with a 40-second pit stop when it mattered. Gav was a 42-second pit stop, and you came out 2.5 seconds ahead of him, and that was really where you won the race, and something you might not even realize in the moment, but how important these pit stops are, and how a second here, a second there can make such a big difference.
Oh, definitely. When I hit that pit stop, I knew I stomped it and it felt good, and I was just waiting to see what Gav was gonna do. And when I came out 2 additional seconds ahead of him, I was like, oh, I have breathing room. And then getting through some of the back markers, I lost that breathing room.
Yeah, the back markers seem to do a good job on. It's gonna be a bit of a tricky track as you're through that like middle part of the track, going through the chicanes. So it doesn't always feel
Yeah,
like there's a great opportunity. But yeah, Gav
it's
did a
tough.
good job of sticking with you, and it felt like maybe if there was one more lap in this race, Gav might have been able to close that gap. But unfortunately, he didn't have one more lap, and you got the victory tonight. So, what a return to DRL after your World Press Tour. Excited about to see how you come back next week. What's your thoughts on finishing on the mystery track here?
I love it. I haven't been able to practice this season, so it just
Make
lends
them all a
itself to
mystery
me.
track.
It's I've become comfortable with it.
Yeah. Any
Uh,
any like guesses or any hope for a certain track that might get picked?
Ooh, the battles are a blast at Silverstone, but
Interesting. I feel
yeah,
that's either
I
a love or a hate track for the drivers here.
it's a fun one. It always makes for a really fun race. It always makes for a great stream. It always makes for some really interesting battles.
Yeah,
Um,
that it does, especially for you,
yeah,
Daniel and Gav. A lot. I think it was
yeah.
last season when we went there on a mystery track. You guys
Mm.
had quite the highlight reel.
Oh, it was an intense race last season. That's putting it lightly.
All right, well, congratulations on I believe it is your second win here at DRL, and hopefully many more to come for you.
That's the hope, man.
All right,
Thank
have a
you.
great night, Kyle.
All right.
All right, so we talked to our pro champion. Let's bring in our pro am champion of the night, Marion Satsara. Marion, welcome to the stream. What a race, huh?
Hello. Yeah, thank you. There was something. The track is really something. It's really challenging. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was. It was. It must have been so exciting for you watching you battle with Ionis out there and just keeping that pressure on him while trying to absorb the pressure
Oh
from
yeah.
Tarugo right behind you. You kind of became that filling of a sandwich smushed between two great drivers. Um, you kept the and you kept the pressure on so well on Ionis. Was your
Oh yeah.
strategy there just to kind of try to force the mistake rather than try to force a move somewhere?
Not gonna lie, my plan was to make them do a mistake. It kind of worked. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I wanted to slipstream from them on the straight lines. I was kind of slow. But in the corners, I was fast. Really weird corners, to be honest.
yeah, you really did have like great exit speeds coming out, and you took them the corners so well. And then it seemed like the strategy for you once you got past Ionis was just focus on the pro am race and let the pro drivers through. And it looked like you let Taru go through first, and then you let Sam through
Yeah.
after. But then it was like your pace was better than them. And as we were watching it on the
Uh,
stream, the concern was like, oh, is he going to end up like running into the back of them or losing too much time because he's quicker, which, I think is a huge testament to how much faster you've got as a driver and your improvement. And yeah, it was such a dominating race for you tonight that had to feel so good.
Yeah, it was really amazing actually. I also kept increasing the pace also, which is also very good. I'm unable to speak. My heart rate is really moved.
But yeah, I believe this
Oof.
is your second win now here, right? Or
No, I
third?
think it's my third.
Yeah,
Third.
because I think you had one earlier in the year when we missed it on the stream. I think it was the second
Yeah,
race of the
that was
season.
super. Yeah.
So, well, congratulations,
Oh,
another big win here, and you're still right in the mix for the championship. It was a win that was desperately needed in a what's
yeah.
a tight race between you, Tarugo, and Jim Kelly. Jim unable to make it tonight gives a big gap for you. I think another big race next week on the mystery track. You're still going to be in the
Okay.
fight for the championship. What is your thoughts on the mystery tracks? Do you like them or do you not like them?
It is. It depends actually if it's not the Barusta track again.
I guess that's very fair. Is
But
there a track that you hope gets picked
uh,
or you would have
I
fun racing
actually have
on?
no idea. I have no idea how we did the not like the not track again. Hmm. Well, let's see. Well, I'm also quite for what's ahead for me. And W for my teammate also. He also really worked really well. We managed to keep our team in podium, I think. Yeah, first place for the entire race. That is something.
All right. Well, Marion, congratulations on such a great race tonight. We love to see it, and we can't wait to see what you got in store for us next week. So enjoy your victory, and we will see you on the track next week in some mystery place in this world.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
You too. All right, and let's finish up with Daniel Hurst. Daniel, welcome to the stream and welcome back. I know you missed the race last week. Um, Quite the interesting race for you out there tonight, huh?
It was pretty lonely, but caught the car a bunch of times.
Yeah, definitely had it on rails out there. But yeah, it did feel like you went through like the first, I don't know, 3 laps where you and Chronotis were just neck and neck battling it out. And then I don't know if something happened to him or you just found a little more pace. And yeah, you just kind of sat in no man's land today. But it works out when you finish on the podium, huh?
Yeah, it worked out. It was nice having two Hirsches on the podium today.
Yeah, and I know it was desperately needed for Team Hirsch Racing in the constructors title. With Kyle being gone the last couple races, you not being there next week, it did give Braun GP the chance to catapult up, and Gazophilia also right there, just 1 or 2 points behind you guys in the standings. So with the big race tonight, that might even be enough points to catapult you back up ahead of Braun GP. But something exciting to battle out for this final race of the season, the constructors title. Is that something you guys take pride in as a team?
Oh, 100%. Um, it's fun calling us Hirsch Racing.
Yep. Awesome. So next week we go to the mystery track. Are you a fan of the mystery tracks? Do you wish it was known? Thoughts on going into it the last race, and maybe if there's a track that you think would be fun to close the season out on?
I think Mystery Track is really cool. Especially lately, I haven't been able to practice nearly as much. So that's awesome. Where do I wish we would go? Probably like Spain. That'd be a fun one.
Interesting. That'd be convenient too for anyone who does iRacing because I think next week, this weekend actually, I think is the Barcelona 4-hour endurance race. So some drivers would have quite a bit of practice recently on Barcelona. So,
Ooh, maybe we shouldn't do that then.
well, I'm not choosing it. We're spinning a wheel and we'll find out what it is. So, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. Your brother was on here earlier and said he'd love to find himself in Silverstone after that battle between you, him, and Gav last season, which I believe was also a mystery track. So that would be fun. I think an interesting track to get pulled would be Paul Ricard, because it's a track that like nobody ever drives and no one really likes. So those always kind of turn into like chaotic races. So that'd be kind of a funny way to end the season, although some drivers may not be too thrilled about it or show up. Suzuka is another fun track that could get pulled, or Red Bull Ring, that are tracks drivers are pretty familiar with. So it'll be really interesting to see. What I think we might have to do next season is talk about, for mystery tracks, having it spin for like weather conditions also, or like day race, night race, or rain race, something like that.
Yeah, a day/night race, maybe like an extended, or what is that called?
Yeah, where it like accelerates through.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah,
And add some rain, just a little bit.
some mixed condition racing.
I am
So
totally down.
yeah, maybe look to mix it up somehow next season for the big season 10. But congratulations, Daniel. Another podium finish for you. Another great season continuing out forward. And cannot wait to see how the final race of the season will play out. Not sure in the standing wise what your chances are of catching Professor Chronotis. We'll have to see after all the points are tallied this week. But nonetheless, it's an exciting battle going into the final race for the Constructors title that we're going to be really excited to watch. So looking forward to seeing you race next week, and hope you have a great night.
Thanks, guys. I hope they built my car good, and God bless.
All right. There we go. Real Boss, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you popping in here and following us. I hope you're having a wonderful night. We are just wrapping up a very exciting race here at Zolder. Congratulations to Kyle Hirsch on a huge podium, huge victory for the pro class. Gav Cook joined him on the podium. Daniel Hirsch joined him on the podium as well for our pro class drivers. In our pro-am class, a huge victory for Marion South Sara. So congratulations on that. Alongside him on the podium was Alan Leung, and I believe Christopher Black got that final podium position for you, Jim. Jim also saying, I'd take Paul Ricard. The Lexus loves that back straight. Yeah, it does. Paul Ricard would be a very interesting track to pull. So let's take a look at the calendar so you guys can see what we're talking about. We're going to, next week, our final race of Season 9. Every time we get to the last race, it always feels like we just started. I can't believe Season 9 is already about to come to an end. We are ending next week on a mystery track. What is a mystery track, you say? A mystery track is exactly that, a mystery. We're going to get on, so we run off Pacific time. Our practice session opens at 8 p.m. Pacific. We're going to go on about 7:55 p.m. Pacific in Discord, and we're going to spin a wheel. The wheel's going to have every track that is in the game that is not on our current calendar. So it's not going to have Monza. It won't have Bathurst because that was our round 2 mystery track. No Misano, Valencia, 24-hour layout of Nürburgring, Hungary, or Zolder. All other tracks are going to be on there. We'll spin a wheel, and that is where we're racing. So drivers will have no time this week to practice a track. They'll have a 1-hour window to come up with setups, learn the track and the braking points, and prepare themselves to race. It always is a fun and chaotic race, and it's a great way to end the season here. So we will find out. I will take our wheel spin and I will share it with everyone on the stream. We'll spin the wheel together on the stream to see where we're racing, and we will have a lot of fun. I'll probably start the stream a little bit earlier next week, try to do some more driver interviews, talk about the season. We always try to make the last race here a little bit more of a celebration of such a fun time. You never know who's coming back, who's it's going to be their last season, and we want to take a moment to just remember the good old days, why we're still in the good old days. We will, after that, take about a 2-week break or so and then roll right into Season 10. It's going to be a very short turnaround between 9 and Season 10, where we're going to look to possibly mix things up a little bit. We haven't had too many rules or regulation changes here at DRL, over the course of the last few seasons. I think for season 10, we might need to start to mix it up a little bit, add some fun somewhere. So if you have any thoughts and ideas of ways that we could improve the league, fun rules to add, different ways to mix it up, join us on Discord. I just dropped the link in chat. If you're not already part of the Discord, we would love to have you part of the community. Before I end any stream, I have to take another moment to thank all of our Patreon subscribers. I so appreciate everyone who's able to support us financially, and even for those of you who aren't able to support us financially, just taking some time to hang out with us during the stream or join our Discord and be part of our community. We are so appreciative for each and every one of you. Our community means the absolute world to us, and we're so thankful that you you take some time to be part of our community. So whether you want to join us in racing, you just like to hang out with like-minded people, we'd love to have you in Discord, and we'd love to have you around. So that is going to wrap up our race tonight. An exciting race here at Zolder. Looking forward to a mystery track next week. My name was Dan Delatorre. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week in some mysterious location.